How's everyone doing today? Welcome back for another Live at 5. Thank you for tuning in, and we have lots of good things to talk about. Today's episode is going to be pretty jam-packed. We'll do some quick market vitals, some big news going on, especially over the next 48 hours. We have some great alts to talk about. We'll also go into the aftermath and discuss what projects we're looking at and have a deep dive on something special for you. So stay tuned and let's get right in. As you can see, we have a green market. This is great to see after you've survived the last month or two. So we love to see we're on the one-day indices over here based off of volume, and we can see Bitcoin and everything is up. Volume seems spread out throughout all of the projects in a healthy format. This looks good. This is exciting. I just wish it wasn't Monday. So we'll get into that later. We'll go ahead and take a look at CoinGecko. As you can see, a lot of the projects are up for the day. A lot of projects are starting to go up for the week. Some had a little bit more of an attack. Lunaterra is still down on the week. And as you can see, the market looks pretty healthy. We can look at our top gainers for the day: Decentraland, Nexo, Luna, Uniswap. I mean, these are some pretty exciting projects. It's nice to see them showing health and turning around. Some of our losers of the day, we have Pocket Network. Helium's down 1% on the day, and Ecomi's down 0.7% on the day. Interesting, those projects are down a little bit because we're going to be talking about them in a minute. But anyways, we'll go ahead and take a look at some charts real quick. Let's pull those up. So as you can see, this is our total market cap. It represents all of the money in the market. We go over this every day. We keep explaining. If you're unfamiliar, please watch our previous streams. It'll start to make sense. We don't want to keep our other people behind. So we'll get right into it. What I have here is you've seen we've broken our short-term trend line and we're falling below, but we're still showing really good support and health over our long-term trend line. And let me show you what I mean here. I'll zoom out, go to the 5-day candles, and you'll be able to see right here since 2015, January 2015, we've held a support trend line pretty consistently with briefly a couple of 5-day candles at best underneath it and during the COVID crash. And so right now, I know a lot of people are talking about an M formation on the charts, the McDonald's sign. Like I understand the concern, and there is possibility of more capitulation in the market, but in long-term conception, this is still, the utility hasn't changed and the adoption isn't changing. It's a long game, and those of us that are looking at the long picture, we can see clearly there's a couple of ways this could play out and still stay healthy if we went into a bear market for the following 6 months and still end up at a 1.45 market cap for across the board by August, September of this year. So a quick way to just see how that could play out. Pretty easy. You go over to bar patterns and you find a similar play out where there was a capitulation period and it fell below. And then you can bring that over, apply it to your last rise, and you can see pretty consistently it shows up in a healthy format to some extent. So a lot of people are concerned about the market, and there may be a good reason to in the short term. We're hoping the next 48 hours are going to tell us a lot. It is Friday, or it is the end of the month. It is Monday. Typically, Mondays have false moves. So let's take a look at what Bitcoin's doing, because we do know that Monday and Tuesdays generally seem to be a false move for the week. So we can come in and we can see that Bitcoin has been pumping. And what I'm concerned about is I'm concerned that Bitcoin is going to continue to pump up, and it's going to come and get rejected at 40,000 on our heavy resistance line that's been keeping us in this bear cycle and in a downward pennant. And if that were the case, I could see us falling down to this luscious pool of liquidity that we continue to talk about. So you can see we've had a pool of liquidity since May of last year, and we're waiting to grab it. And I think that that's necessary before we break this resistance line that we've had present since November of last year. So let's go ahead and do the same process, check our bar patterns and see what would that look like. And you can take, my apologies, you can take this pattern right here and see what would happen. And so it would almost fit perfectly in the chart. It seems like a pretty feasible play out. I want people to be aware of this scenario so they don't panic. There's not a big concern. Obviously not financial advice. We're just showing the fundamentals and some of the chart potential playouts and still having a healthy long-term outcome. So right here, we can see Bitcoin could drop as low as 28K, grab this entire pool of liquidity and carry on down this wedge before making its final breakout. And as you can see, once we grab the pools and liquidity from the past, we end up doing a very healthy breakout. So that's what we're looking for. Enough of those charts. We're just happy to see green. We just want to keep seeing green charts, green candles, green screens. So Jake, why don't you tell us why everything's green? Give us some good news.
All right. So this could be, let me start over. Welcome, C3 family. Thanks for tuning in to Live at 5. Make sure you like, smash subscribe if you find value in this content. Let's jump right into some news. This could be a reason why Bitcoin's pumping. Michael Saylor and his boy Jack Dorsey are having a Bitcoin for Corporations virtual event. This is basically an event to show corporations how to onboard their institution into Bitcoin. They have an explanation on how to do that. There's some open source documents. So some of the keynote speakers, Jack Dorsey, of course, Michael Saylor. There's quite a few strategic vendors partnered with this virtual event: Coinbase, Fidelity, Genesis, Paxos, Silvergate, which we'll be talking about here in a little bit, and BitPay. So they also post some open source documents. Like I said earlier, this is for corporations and businesses looking to get into Bitcoin. Basically, this is a Bitcoin conference for the big dogs, people with money, institutional investors. So before we jump into some meta news, let's jump into this cool Arcade launches NFT lending platform as blue chip NFTs hold strong. So the lending platform Arcade, introduced on Pawn Protocol in a bid to bring liquidity to the NFT market, the company announced Monday. So this platform allows users to access fixed rate loans collateralized by their Ethereum-based NFTs. So basically, they have more than $15 million locked up in blue chip NFTs. So these are the really high dollar value NFTs. These are the crypto punks, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, Doodles. So these represent a significant portion of the NFT market space in terms of value and liquidity. So Arcade says that it has more than 15 million locked up in NFTs and $6 million in loan volume, with average loans around $350,000. So that's pretty significant. That's quite a bit of money. That's kind of how the banks roll when somebody buys a house. Typically in America, it's around that price on the West Coast. So right now, most of the value is locked up in top 1% of assets. So the platform is curated to certain collections, basically the high dollar blue chip collection. So the CEO told Coinbase, once we start integrating layer 2s and other blockchains, we can get into some of the lower value assets just because of gas costs. It's currently quite restricted and only makes sense for those higher value loans. So basically, the Ethereum gas fees are way too high for lower dollar loans. So I have this article linked in the description if you want to read more. But let's jump into some Silvergate Bank news. So they announced Monday that it's purchasing the technology and other assets from Diem, the stablecoin project, from Meta Platforms, formerly Facebook, first announced as Libra in June 2019. So in a statement Monday, they said that they begin the process of winding down, and Silvergate released in a press release late Monday that it is acquiring Diem's development and deployment and operation tools, as well as their crypto assets. So it described Diem's work as running in a pre-launch phase. Diem has faced stiff regulatory headwinds since it was first announced in June 2019. Rumors are that Diem was looking to sell its assets to repay investors have been swirling since last week. So this has kind of been a little bit in the underground news people have known about. So Silvergate said it issued $132 million in Class A common shares and paid an additional $50 million in cash to acquire the assets. At press time, Silvergate's share price was trading at $107, up 13% for the day. Silvergate partnered with Diem Associates last year to try to launch a dollar-backed stablecoin. Under the terms of that arrangement, Silvergate would both manage the reserves and issue the stablecoin itself. That planned pilot program reportedly met the resistance from federal banking regulators. Big surprise. Later in the statement, CEO Alan Nick said that it is committed to continuing to foster the open source community that allows the technology, and we believe that existing contributors will be excited about our vision going forward. So this is huge news. This is really important for the space, especially when you talk about Web 3.0 and play to earn gaming. So here's some really cool crypto passive income mining news. If you go over to Helium Hotspot Help on Twitter, give them a good old follow. They reposted this tweet from Helium, and they've partnered with Constellation's network, which we were talking about last week. So this is really huge. We thought that they could have possibly been a competitor to Helium, but turns out they end up joining the party together. So this is really exciting. We could see these door traffic miners running on the Helium blockchain. So if you haven't already, check out our video popping up above about Constellation and DAG. So with that being said, I think I'm going to stop talking about some news and hand it over to Sifu for some fun play to earn gaming and all the fun stuff you can do no matter what the market's doing.
Thanks, Jake. That was awesome as always. And what's up, C3 fam? It's always glad to be here. Happy to keep giving you guys these little dive-ins to the NFT world and just kind of how they're doing in the market along with everything. So with that, let's just go ahead and just jump right into the chart we got pulled up here. So as you can see, even over here, we're in a really nice green day, especially for, how it's been, as, the current market has been. But we can see Mana Decentraland is up in the top here. So they've kind of had a nice little spike. So obviously means, a little bit of money pumped into them. But following that, we got Ecomi, Axie, Infinity, Sandbox, all the kind of top players in the network right now. And it's just overall very healthy for the most part. If you really scale through, there's some pretty high numbers: 21%, 21%, a lot of 20%, 93%. Look at these guys. They went on a little boom. But instead of going through every little project here, I got a few already picked up that I'm going to go over. I already checked out earlier this Bezoge Earth game. It's like a RPG style game. And they're really cheap. I mean, they're down, they're a ways off from a penny. But as you can see here, they're up 36%. And they are so new that this spike right here, this is an actual spike. It's not them just getting back to a current level in that respect for the most part. But let's go ahead and just go into them. I'm going to show you why they're kind of cool, what I thought was cool about them. So right off the bat, if you just go into the learn more, just to kind of see what they're about, it takes you right to this page here. And once this pops up, if you click sign up, it's just asking you if you want to be an alpha tester. Um, and then you just fill out this form. And obviously, before you do this, sorry, take that back. Go ahead and sign up on their Discord. Get in it on the Discord because you're going to need to use that. But once you do, you come back to here, fill out your form. Granted, hopefully you have a wallet address and everything. If you want to get in on that, this is alpha registration. This is the earliest times and best times to get into games. And when you check the game out itself, it seems like pretty big scope, pretty cool, basically RPG style open world game. But I thought it was really cool because of the fact that it's still in that early testing. Who knows if you get through on the forum once you sign up? Maybe there's a long waiting list, but it's worth a shot. But here's another cool one, Nifty League. These guys are up pretty decent. They're only at 4 cents right now, so they're relatively low. But we see on the chart they kind of just pumped up and then they've just been riding pretty nicely. Granted, they are down. They've been up to 72 cents. I mean, excuse me, 7 cents. But they're actually really cool too. So what we're gonna do is check them out just for a quick gander here. And they actually got a pretty cool idea, and they've already got a few games. Actually got a handful of games. But if you just go in, log in, it basically just runs you through uh, their basic concept. They're a play to earn game. So once again, it's what makes you want to play it. But it's like it's based off of your typical kind of breeding and send these players out into the world and they gain your rewards. But it's Nifty Smashers is the basically what you're creating. You're creating a bunch of different characters like this, but like all these games, you do have to purchase an actual NFT to start. But the coolest game I thought out of all of these were was this one right here, Rev Sports, because basically like all the play to earns, once again, you have to purchase to get into this. But this game, not only do the races look pretty awesome and cool, the NFTs were only like $5. I was finding NFTs as low as $5. So if you connect your mask, you go into the marketplace. Don't just jump in thinking you have to spend a lot. You can actually just spend $5 to get into the game, which is pretty awesome. And they even have the pay with your credit card option, so or your debit card, so you don't even specifically have to have Polygon or Ethereum already on a MetaMask to do it. And I actually went to make that purchase and I had to reject it because the gas fees are so incredibly high right now. It was basically going to be almost $100 just to make that $5 purchase. However, I am going to go in and do that. But this game's pretty cool. It's at 10 cents right now. You can see it's kind of pumping again. It's down a bit. It's been up to 63 cents. So that's these are all opportune moments still. And depending on if things are going to stay healthy, and you're going to try to get in on these, the time is now. So I'll probably do an update back when I actually do purchase one of these. I'll go and see if the credit card option works better. Maybe that doesn't charge a gas fee. I don't know, but I'll let you guys know. But what we are going to do out of all the games, we're going to jump into what I think was the coolest one. This one's called Monster Buds. And with Monster Buds, it's pretty actually, I think it's pretty genius idea to basically create a concept where, the Earth looks like we got like a meteorite that hits Earth, and basically what's left over in the aftermath are these kind of mutated bud genetics. And but grow, breed, smoke monster buds. And it's pretty ingenious, really. It just follows the same breeding concept, but you're breeding, different strains together, and smoking them is like the equivalent of hitting like. But if you actually have enough likes, you'll actually earn other breeds. If you go into the marketplace, this is what was also very intriguing. Come and check out some of the breeds or the genetics that have been created. This African squeak here is priced at 0.15 ETH, which is $404. Another $404. Look at this one, almost 2,500 bucks for Fat Marty Mittens. And you can see they're all either indica or hybrid or sativa. But I don't know, it's pretty ingenious, I think. They have a whole community, and if you get in on their discords, that's what you have to do. It's the only way you can get in and get seeds so you can start your breeding process. So if I pull that off, I'll definitely re-update you guys and let you know. I did sign up and try to check it out. Yeah, turns out that you got to get in on the Discord, and then they have certain drops, and hopefully you get in on those seed drops. But for the most part, it's real quick and easy. I'm going to check more into these games. I recommend checking out the NFT gaming list right now. It's healthier than ever, and there's a lot of gems popping out. You don't even have to go for the top ones. And just to close it off in my segment here, just going to pop into my profile. This is one of the older NFTs I've had up here, and I am actually going to have a whole collection of a legendary edition of all the NFTs that I have been posting and showing. But other than that, I guess I'm gonna just say thank you to everyone who does join us, and I'm gonna keep delivering what I can, and hopefully I'll hit a game that everyone does like. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over.
Thank you, Sifu. Thank you for all that gold. Gotta love it. NFTs and the metaverse is such a fun world. I'm excited for it. And it seems like that's the future. And speaking of the metaverse and who's making plays in this new world we're about to live in called Web 3.0, I want to talk about this project. And here I want to talk about why I like this project, because you may be asking yourself, you're like, Al, it looks like it's flatlined. What on earth are you looking at? And I'm like, I know, I get it, I understand. But the bigger the base, the bigger in the space. Keep that in mind, because this project is going to be a reign of terror, and we're going to be the channel that brought it to you. So as you can see, let's figure out why we like it. Elastos is responsible of building Web 3.0 and is the most promised project right now to be developing this new world of Web 3.0. So you can find out what you want as you go to CoinGecko, you type in ELA or Elastos, and then you can go check out their info and all that fun and games. But we're going to dive right into it. You guys can do your own homework. So right away, you can check them out on Twitter, and they got great things going on. They got a lot of news. They're very active. They are far from flatlined, and there's someone to pay attention to. And let's think about how they caught our attention. Well, this is something I like. When you show strong technical analysis, when you look like you flatlined for the last 2 years, that means that you're just quiet and you're waiting to make your move. And that's what we look for in projects, especially to be early in them. And so that's why we have our eyes on Elastos. And this is courtesy of Token Metrics, our favorite tool. If you don't use it and you're not a member, please look into it. They have basic packages all the way up to advanced and on. So please check into them. Links below. Love Token Metrics. Love their tools. Let's move on and learn about Elastos. So over here at elastos.info, you can get a pretty solid summary. Elastos is everything. It's all in one place. The Elastos info team is community-led. The team collects, curates, and organizes all news and information from across the Elastos ecosystem, including updates from the Foundation, Cyber Republic, ecosystem partners, and community initiatives. If it relates to Elastos, you can find it here. So it's, for lack of a better analogy, it's like Google on steroids. It's like you don't need anything else. It'll all be in one spot. And if you want, you can come here and watch this intro video. The link will also be below. Highly recommend you guys come here. You click this video, and it is a brilliant summary in about 3 minutes of what's going on. But we don't have time for that. So let's move on. They have an official deep dive article you can educate yourself with, but we really want to know what's the latest. And here's the latest news, and here's what they are doing and developing. They're building a new internet where all communications of data is peer-to-peer, all storage of data is decentralized, and all ownership of data is verifiable with blockchain immutability and smart contract capability. This is the platform for a modern internet, a fully interoperable infrastructure designed for decentralized applications backed by the hash power of Bitcoin and fully capable of utilizing smart contracts. I mean, this is huge. This is unfathomable. They're gonna be, I love what they're doing. I love where they're heading. I'm so excited about them. I can't even keep up with all that I want to share with you guys. I'm just gonna go over the basics. Like, let's get educated on what's Web 3.0. Web 3.0 definition varies depending on who you ask. In general, it's considered the third generation of the internet. Web 3.0 is also called semantic web or the spatial web. If you break the evolution of the internet into segments, with the first being simple web pages and the second being apps and social media and mass adoption, the emerging blockchain-based web would be Internet 3.0. Essentially, it's a user-friendly, more secure, more private, and better connected internet. So it goes hand in hand with the revolutionary aspect of cryptocurrency and how this is going to change how everything we do in our life, from getting groceries to paying our bills to monetary exchanges to accounting to data to metrics to business analytics. This is huge. Here's the internet. Web 1.0. Basic web pages, HTML, e-commerce, JavaScript. Web 2.0, social media, user-generated content, mobile access, high-quality camera and video, apps, corps monetizing your data, high-speed communication, and global internet access. And that was started 2006 to present day. So the internet showed up 1990, rocked it until 2005, figured we needed to make some upgrades. 2006, we're like, let's start making moves. And here we are, like, same issue. We have infrastructure that is not ready for where we're heading. So now we go to Web 3.0. We have the semantic web, dApps, users monetize their data. I mean, it's about time we start getting paid for our data and not other people getting paid for our data. If they're going to take it inevitably, I wouldn't mind getting a little kickback, and I'm pretty sure you're on the same page. We also go into NFTs, the topic of what seems like the year. Anything in the NFT world seems to be something worth looking into to some extent, especially when you're a project like Elastos and you're still healthy. You still have volume. You still have a market. Yeah.
So weren't you talking about data the other day, how data is king and the dollar is dying? Like, it seems like this project is
revolves around data.
That concept.
Absolutely. And that's what I want people to understand, that when we say that data is rising and the dollar is dying, it's nothing against the dollar. In all honesty, it's just from pure observation of what are some of the biggest companies in the world. They're Facebook, they're Amazon, they're Google, they're Microsoft. And what do these companies all have in common? Well, in all honesty, they sell data. That's how they make their money. They collect data and they sell data, and then they use it for ads and advertisement and so on, and for whatever their analytics request. But it's a data grab. And as you can see, that's how these companies are growing their wealth. And so you can just figure out the trajectory of that is eventually it'll trickle down to the common person. And so like Jake brought up, that's why we like this project, because they're so indulged in data. And really, there's not much Elastos doesn't do. That's why they're the Web 3.0. And I highly encourage you guys to check them out. This was also what I loved. They have the Web3 marketplace and ecosystem based on the ESC smart chain. Elasticity leverages the tech stack to aggregate ESC smart contract services and tools into user-friendly smart city portals. They also have Odin NFT. So the Odin NFT is a decentralized NFT and metaverse platform. Odin NFT is committed to creating an ecosystem of its own that features Chinese cultural artwork in a metaverse setting. Odin's long-term vision is to become what they refer to as a Chinese version of Super Rare. At present, Odin utilizes the ESC to verify NFT ownership and transactions. So everyone, please check it out. All of the links and information will be below. I have to tell you, you heard it first here. Elastos, something worth looking into. Not financial advice, purely educational, entertainment, and for me, that's going to be what I'm breaking into. We can go into what we love talking about, and I don't think people fully understand that Ecomi is an epic project. And those of us that have been educated on it are starting to understand why Ecomi is so great. But I think a lot of people think of Ecomi and this is all they think of. And they're like, okay, it's for VEVV and it's for, digital comics and maybe that's not my thing. Like, it's also for smart contracts and it's also for going to be used in the business world. It's not just going to be for the collectors. So the project itself is worth looking into. I would recommend checking out their white paper. We already did our deep dive on Elastos, so we're not going to go that deep into Ecomi. If you guys want us to, leave some comments below. We'll get into it. But Jake, do you got anything on Ecomi for us?
Yeah, I do. I'll jump into the chart right now. All right. Here we go, C3 fam. So Ecomi on the charts is looking a little bearish. We're looking like we're coming back down into our liquidity pool near this 50 EMA. So if you're looking into purchasing yourself some Ecomi, there's going to be buying opportunities ahead. So this is a really solid project. As you can tell, when after our last drop earlier this year, around the end of January, it really did not fall that much. It held the 200 EMA really well, and then it hit the 50 EMA and blasted right through it. So right now we're holding the 50 moving average on Ecomi. So this is actually looking pretty good. I would really be watching this level right here, the 0.06449. So if it holds there, we're looking really good, but there may be good pricing here up ahead, and it's never a bad idea to have cheeky orders set near this 200 moving average or even further down in these other liquidity pockets further down. So if you guys are interested in it, you can check it out. You can also check us out on TradingView at Coin710. So this is all I got for the...
Brilliant. I actually want to sneak in real quick too and share with the people just a couple days ago in the coming Ecomi released on their Twitter feed. In the coming weeks, we'll open a bridge through the VEVV web wallet, which will allow you to deposit layer 2 or withdraw to layer 1. So now you'll be able to start moving your VEVs around.
No way. You can transfer them?
Yeah. Oh, well, not yet.
No way.
Not yet. But it's around the corner. And that's what you'll hear it first from us, everyone. And that's what we're here for, is we're going to bring you those gold nuggets that are hidden underneath that everyone's too big to talk about. And that's okay. We're here with you. We're here to provide value. And this is the gold. This is what we love. This is the projects we're fascinated with.
Well, speaking of VEVV, I actually just got in on a little VEVV drop that I'm hoping that I'll get the next comic for. So yeah, VEVV is awesome. I just thought I want to say that. So hopefully I'll be able to show you that. And
Brilliant. I love it. And as we're getting ready to wrap up, I want people to know that this was released today. This is what Jake talked about. This is Digital Doorways. This is DAG. This is what we brought up. You heard it first here. And now the news comes out. And if you are new and if you want in and if you want to be at the pioneering stage, you want to get into it and you want to click this link right here. It's going to pull you up for the registration. And guess what? The registration doesn't even begin till tomorrow. So be sure to sign up for that if you are interested in it. The link will be below. Nobody's done it before, so we don't have a referral link for you guys, but we are definitely doing it ourselves. We're excited. Jake, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I mean, I think anybody that's interested in a door miner, traffic miner, should join this meeting registration. This will be a Zoom meeting, so I'm not sure if it's limited, but make sure you sign up. This is exciting. I mean, we love passive income, and we're all about crypto passive income. So if you haven't already, check out our sister channel, Helium Hotspot Help. There you can find helium resources and crypto mining information. So that's all I got, Al. Let's wrap this baby up.
With that being a wrap, Sifu, my man, thank you so much. Oops, over here. Jake,
Over there.
thank you so
Nice
much.
work.
C3, thank you so much. You guys are why we do this. We are here to provide value. If there's anything that we can provide on top of this, please let us know. Be active in the comments. We're here for you. Much love. C3 over and out.